All right, folks, the Fed just confirmed how bad this banking crisis is. I actually wasn't going to make any more content today. I was on my way out of the house, but I have to report on this one. I threw on a couple lights. I don't have the full studio setup going, but this is incredible. We just got this report, Kobesi letter reporting on this right on the target. The Fed just reported the US banks borrowed 475 billion last week as the banking crisis continued. Meanwhile, over 500 billion has been withdrawn from small banks in the 2 weeks since Silicon Valley Bank collapsed. We did some research and the numbers are alarming. We have a short thread. 475 billion borrowed just last week. Large banks 250 billion, small banks 250 billion, foreign related banks 25 billion. Small banks borrowed the same amount as large banks. Relative to their size, small banks borrowed twice as much as the large banks. It is getting bad out here, folks. Furthermore, according to JP Morgan, 1 trillion has been withdrawn from the most vulnerable banks over the last 2 years when the Fed started raising rates. However, 500 billion of this has been withdrawn since the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank on March 10th. This is by far a record from JP Morgan. New Fed data shows that banks lost 100 billion in deposits just last week. Now remember, this is on top of 600 billion in unrealized losses that the banks currently have on their balance sheet as well. But now people are seeing the writing on the wall. They withdrew 100 billion just in deposits last week. Large banks had 67 billion withdrawn or added. Sorry, no, check that, right? And this is all part of the plan. Confirmed controlled demolition of the whole system. And all of the money comes back into the big boys. Large US banks added 67 billion of deposits because we had 120 billion leave the small banks and 45 billion leave the foreign related banks. The worst part is that Silicon Valley Bank is a large bank in their model, and large banks still added 67 billion. Where are all of the withdrawals going? JP Morgan research shows half of this money going to government money market funds and the other half to larger, safer banks. Small banks continue to feel the pain while large banks are, ironically, winning the banking crisis. According to the Wall Street Journal, nearly 200 banks are still facing the same issues as Silicon Valley Bank. The crisis has spread to Europe with the collapse of Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank credit default swaps hitting a 4-year high. Meanwhile, there still is not a solution. Last week, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said the U.S. was considering backing all deposits. One day later, she said the U.S. is no longer considering this. Bank stocks fell with the regional bank ETF KRE making a new low. Follow the Kobesi letter, folks. It's a must follow over here on Twitter. Huge shout out to the Kobesi letter for staying over the target. Now, the question is, do you have your silver? And oh yeah, by the way, let's go take a look here at the article. If you guys saw my video, I just dropped it this morning. Mainstream news finally figuring it out. Ripple and XRP may finally be for real. Do you got your silver? Do you got your XRP? Do you need a little bit of on-demand liquidity? This situation continues to develop. We're going to stay over the target. I appreciate everyone. Let's make sure we smash that thumbs up on the way out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there. God bless you all.